world are we going to survive the next 6 months in real estate? Folks, there is a window of opportunity, and this happens every year. There is a curve where in the beginning of the year, the first 6 months, we have an increase in inventory and we have an increase in buyer demand, meaning how many people are purchasing homes. I'm talking to a lot of you right now who have been unsuccessful in 2025 because you made some of the mistakes that I'm going to talk to you today. So I want you to survive the next 6 months. I want you to be successful, and I'm going to teach you how to do it in today's video. All right, let's get into it. Just so you know I'm not making it up, I want to share this slide with you. This is national inventory across the nation. I got this from Redfin. So what I want you to notice is each one of these lines represents a different year. But you will notice right now in 2026, we're seeing a pretty significant increase in inventory. There's a lot more buyers that are jumping in the market right now, and there's a lot more sellers willing to sell. Now I'm going to put this slide on the screen for you. This is buyer demand nationwide. How many buyers are actually purchasing homes? So if you look at that green line, the buyer demand, meaning how many people were purchasing homes the first part of the year, was kind of flat, and now all of a sudden it's starting to spike. So this happens every single year that I've been in real estate. And folks, I've been in real estate for over 20 years. I know the first 6 months of the year is going to be the busiest for me because there's more buyers that are entering the market and there's more sellers willing to sell their homes. So if you are putting your house on the market, I would highly suggest you watch your inventories and you start watching your buyer demand. Now, a little helpful tip, if you're selling your home, go to Redfin Data Center. You just type in your Google browser, Redfin Data Center. This is the national inventory slides that I'm sharing with you today. You do have the opportunity to break it down into your metro area. So like I live in Orange County, California. And of course, if you're looking for an agent, you know who to contact. I'll put my contact information right here. But you can see how your metro area is performing as it relates to inventory and buyer demand. You're welcome. You should quiz your agent on these things too. Like, what's the buyer demand? What's the inventory level? It's something they should know. So I think this next section is probably the most important part of this whole video, and all of you are going to hate it. But someone's got to tell you, this is what I really want you to think about when you're putting your house on the market, is you need to have the proper mindset. That means, hey, if you don't get your price, then what's plan B? What strategy over what particular time are you going to drop the price, take the house off the market, or put it for lease, or just stay put? You need to know that before you put your house on the market. So when I'm working with my sellers, I always ask them this question, and their answers never surprise me because it's always the same. And here's my question. Are you more committed to your price, or are you more committed to selling your home and moving to the next chapter? And their answers are always the same, which is yes. I'm like, yes to which? Yes to both. I'm committed to selling my house at top dollar, and I'm committed to selling my house. So if you're going to take that mindset, I'm just telling you right now, you're a homeowner, not a home seller. So the reason why I'm telling you this is I want you to visualize and feel what it's going to feel like if you don't get your price. If you get your price, great. But if you don't get your price in 30 days, I'm going to suggest you make a decision as to what your strategy is. And I want you to already have this strategy in place. If you want to survive the next 6 months, you need to respond quickly to what the market's telling you. If you're not going to do that, you're going to be unsuccessful and potentially leave money on the table. The second most important thing to surviving the next 6 months is pricing your house properly. All right, let's get the eye roll. Oh, Audra, of course you're going to say that because you're a pesky real estate agent. Well, of course I'm going to tell you that because it's the truth. Now, I want you to really spend time in assessing the value of your home. A lot of you don't see your home in the same light as your buyers do. Or let's say you have a really high comp in your community that just closed and you think yours just went up in value because they stuck $500,000 into the home. That's not the case, okay? Your buyers know the difference. So really drill down as to what the true value of your home is. And if you don't know, bring in a few agents, give them the permission to tell you the true value and their opinion what the house is worth. You can also bring an appraiser in to give them their opinion of value. Now, I do that on all of my listings, but even when I have an appraiser come in and I say, hey, this is what the appraiser has, deemed the value of your home. And by the way, I give no guidance to this appraiser. They still don't believe it. It's super important that when you go into 2026, and if you want to be successful and survive it, you need to be humble. You really need to truly understand the value of your home. Now, here's the beauty of it. Let's say you underprice your house. I promise you, you will get multiple offers bidding it above the market value. However, if you overprice your house, you are not going to receive offers. You're going to see your showings start to dwindle. You're not going to be happy. This is not a market that you want to overprice your home. I know. You all hate me now, but I'm telling you the truth. A lot of you are like, well, how do I really know if my house is overpriced? Well, here's what will happen. First of all, you're not going to get any showings, or your showings are going to start to dwindle. Or if you're getting feedback from your real estate agent after each showing, which you should have, the feedback keeps coming back as the same. Like, oh, we don't like the road noise, or we don't like the power lines, or the house isn't as updated as we want it to be. Or, hey, I really need that downstairs bedroom. Or, I just need a bigger house, or I don't like the floor plan. Okay. If you start hearing those type of things and it's consistent over and over and over again, then guess what they're saying? Hey, you're priced too high. We're not willing to make an offer at your price because of this reason, and you need to adjust. Now, most of the things that these buyers are going to tell you are things you can't do anything about. You can't change the location. You can't change the power lines. You can't change the traffic patterns. So you're going to have to reduce your price. That's called feedback. Now, most of you sellers out there are like, yeah, but my buyers aren't telling me that my price is too high. Yes, they are. You're just not translating it properly. So when they're giving you a lot of feedback, and you don't like it, they're saying your house is priced too high. Also, when you start getting offers that come in around the same price and it's significantly below your asking price, that's code word for this is the market value and you're priced too high. I know that's hard to hear, and I'm sure we're not friends right now. I hope we are, but I do want to drive this point home, and that is you want to get in and out of the market as quickly as you can. Time is not your friend. A lot of you out there think, oh, if I just keep waiting, this magic unicorn offer is going to land in my lap. Okay. I'm telling you, I've done hundreds of transactions, and rarely, and I mean rarely, that occurs. We're in a really quirky market right now. I mean, we don't know if AI is in a bubble. We don't know if there's going to be a new world currency. Stock market's vacillating all over the place. There's massive layoffs going on. And understand, your buyers have a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt when there's a lot of volatility in the markets. So back in 2025, we started the year like just guns a-blazing. I mean, it was crazy how much business we did the first 3 months of the year. And then right around the end of March into April, the tariffs started affecting some of the buyer demand. They got nervous, like, what's going to happen? Am I still going to have a job? It was crazy how the market just downshifted. A lot of the sellers that I'm selling their homes this year were in that market, and they did not react in time to the market. So I'm telling you that because I want you to understand the importance of getting in and out of the market, and do understand the economic and the uncertainty and all the noise that's happening in today's world. We haven't had a significant market correction in over 17 years. So the question is it just around the corner, or are we going to continue? I don't know, but I do know this. You need to pay attention and listen to the feedback and not get greedy in this marketplace. So let's pivot, talk about something new. Upgrading your home. So a lot of you have upgraded your home 10, 20, 30 years ago, and you're just like, I put so much money into my house, and maybe you have more of a Tuscan style home, or maybe it's that farmhouse style, and you're expecting an absolute premium because you made an investment many years ago. I'm telling you right now that your buyers already know that it's dated, it's not current, and they're not going to give you a super duper premium because you made an investment many years ago. I know, y'all all going to hate me in this video, but I'm just being honest with you. I'm here to set expectations, and I want you successful if you're going to put your house on the market. Okay, on the flip side, I see homeowners over improving their home, hoping to get the super duper price, record comp in the community, and they don't get their return on their investment. So don't over improve your home. We're not getting that massive appreciation year over year like we did during COVID. So I would say make conservative improvements. So, if you're going to redo a bathroom, maybe you don't gut the whole thing. Maybe you put a new countertop or new shower doors. Like most of the people who are purchasing right now just want to find something affordable, and understand we have a housing affordability crisis right now. So be careful with investing too much, because you may not get it out. Please do my YouTube community a favor and comment down below what improvements you've done on your home that you believe really help with a return on your investment. And also, please subscribe to my channel. YouTube's not pushing my content out because I haven't been begging you for subscribers. So help a girl out, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below. If you want to survive real estate in the next 6 months, you have to understand your own personal negotiating style, know the pros and cons, and be prepared to respond properly when an offer comes in. So what the heck am I talking about? You either like to negotiate a lot or you just hate it. So admittedly, I was taught you go down to the car dealership, you walk away 7 times, and you finally get the price that you feel like you earned, okay? Now, I'm not going to lie. I bought a car a year ago and there was no negotiating and I was so mad. I felt like I was being ripped off because I wasn't able to negotiate any terms. I did get my floor mats negotiated into the deal. But for us negotiators, it's very difficult when someone tells us this is the best and final offer. They want to negotiate and they feel like they're leaving money on the table. Now, the problem is for some of those buyers who are presenting best and final offer, they get offended by the seller who likes to negotiate a lot because they feel like they're being greedy, they're being unreasonable, they're being difficult because this buyer just made a really good offer, which is why I highly suggest if you're a seller that you get really clear on the price that you want for your house that's reasonable. Maybe it's backed by an appraisal. And if you get an offer that's somewhere near there, maybe you just take an offer that's best and final, because if someone's going to present an offer best and final, that means best and final. Now, sometimes you're able to work out some terms, like can we make it a 35-day, transaction rather than a 30-day, because whatever reason, like some terms are able to negotiate, but not the price more than likely. So just be aware of that. Like the goal here is to get in and out of the market at top dollar. And let's not get too crazy and too emotional and too upset that one party won't negotiate or one's negotiating too much. Let's just focus on what your house is worth. And sellers out there, take it. Don't get greedy and don't get too crazy wrapped up in your negotiations. A deal's a deal. This is business 101. Let's just figure out what the bottom line is and see if it's something that you're willing to accept. Oh, and by the way, this new negotiating style where we just submit our best and final is really the predominant way that I'm receiving some of the offers on some of my properties that I'm selling. So it is a preferred style because most buyers just don't want to deal with all the drama. They don't want to deal with an unrealistic seller. And they also don't want to offend the seller either. So they're just offering a really good price up front for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. So if you are selling your home, don't be surprised by this, okay? It's happening a lot more than it did just a few years ago. All right, if you want to survive the next 6 months in real estate and get a good result, you need to do this for me, okay? Because I'm sick and tired of having these conversations with my sellers. So here it is. If there's something you have to have on your property that's affixed to the property, such as a lighting accent or a window treatment, you need to remove it. And then when you go take those photos, everything in those photos that are affixed to the wall should convey with the property. So where this becomes a problem is I have this conversation with my seller and like, yeah, Audra, that's right. That's okay. Everything conveys, you're right. But then what'll happen is, let's say we put their house on the market for $1 million and then the offers start coming in at 900,000-ish, right? And they're all offended. Like, well, gosh, if I'm going to accept 900,000, I'm going to take all my lighting fixtures and I'm going to take my window treatments and I'm going to take my kitchen faucet. I kid you not, I got that one. And I'm going to take my outdoor hoses. And yes, I got that one too. And I'm going to take my water purification, water softening system, which in my area, we have hard water. So like, why did you have it there to begin with? It's because there's a problem, right? So now the buyer's like, well, phooey on that. That's why I'm making the offers, so I don't have to pay for these things. So folks, when we're selling our home, we're talking, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and these other things that you're trying to dismantle off your property is going to be a fraction of the price, and you're potentially letting a really good buyer go by the wayside. So let's not get grabby, let's not get greedy, and let's just be clear on what the value of your home is. And if you truly do want something, remove it off the property and don't take pictures with it in the MLS photos. If you want to survive the next 6 months, you have to be sharp. You have to be on top of it. And so I want to talk about unemployment. I'm seeing a lot more people get laid off. There's a lot of homeowners that are, selling their homes because they just lost their job and they just don't want the burden of such a large mortgage or the upkeep on their home. So a lot more people are getting laid off. I'm telling you right here as a full-time real estate agent that I'm seeing a lot more of this happen. And so I pass this on to you because it's so crucial that when you accept an offer to shorten those contingency periods and don't get into a long-term transaction. So in my opinion, The close of a transaction should be 30 days or less. 45 days is pushing it, but 60, 90 days, I mean, oh my goodness, that's just way too many things that can go wrong. And you don't want your buyer backing out last minute when you already moved off the property because they can't qualify for a loan because they just lost their job. Are you hearing me on this? This is super, super important. And I'm highly going to recommend that you cross-qualify your buyer with another lender, a lender of your choice. I'm happy to provide mine. His name is Ian. He's saved a lot of your deals. And what this looks like is that second backup lender will do a pre-qualification. So if that first lender in position can't get the deal done, he's ready to step up and close. Now, Ian's already helped a lot of you out. This is happening more and more in today's industry where the lenders are just getting stricter and stricter with who they qualify. The underwriters are getting tougher and tougher, and sometimes they just can't get the mortgage deal done. And so the whole deal falls apart because the lending institutions can't get it done. So it's always good to have a backup. Once again, Ian is a great choice. And also for those of you who are working with listing agents, oftentimes they can provide their lender of choice that can assist as well. And by the way, I don't get any compensation off of recommending Ian. I'm just here to help everybody out. I wasn't going to put this in the video, but I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? If you need to survive the next 6 months in real estate, you need to be aware of this. And that's home insurance. I don't care where you are in the nation, more than likely it's a big issue. And a lot of your buyers are backing out because they didn't understand the impact of home insurance. So first of all, I would highly suggest that if you accept an offer, that you tell your buyer that you have 5-6 days to figure out what the home insurance costs are, because we don't want them backing out 17 days into a contract because they didn't understand the impact of home insurance. And also you can help them out. A lot of you have claims on your property. You had maybe a slab leak, or I've had this happen where the homeowner was burglarized and they put the loss on their home insurance, and all of a sudden their premiums went through the roof. And now these buyers are like, why is this so expensive? What happened to the property? It was nothing with the property. It was about the burglary that increased the insurance claims. So if you want my opinion, if you are selling your home, it's better to get the scope of the claim up front to your buyers so they're aware. The worst thing in the world you can do is go under contract and then back out and waste those days on market. We're seeing a lot more of this. So try to shorten those contingencies. And if you do have a claim, make sure you get that information to your buyer up front so they can make a quick decision. A short no is way better than a long no. I know that was tough to hear. I know that's tough love. I just am trying to help you. And I've been dealing with a lot of sellers that are struggling with some of the topics that I discussed in today's video. And I don't want you to. I want you to have your mindset set properly. And also, I want to give you some good news. So today is Super Bowl Sunday, and yes, I'm doing a video, and right after Super Bowl Sunday, every realtor will tell you that the housing market starts to pick up. And the other second good news I have to tell you is we have started 2026 in a really positive way. So we're getting a lot of inventory, a lot of buyers are entering the market right now, and I know you're going to be successful too. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below with anything that I forgot, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so YouTube will start pushing me out to the universe. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.